Okay, hello everybody. This is session two of the series of sessions on what you need to do if you have a site. Modern sites today have not just the site itself, but basically 10 or 20 other solutions that are hooked in to help you with various systems and analytics and heat maps and Google Tag Manager and there's tons of other things as well we're going to teach you. And today we're going to talk about search engine optimization and what's that about and so forth. And Joseph's going to start. So Joseph, go ahead.
Okay, thanks, David. So, good morning, everyone. Thank you all for being here today. In this session, we're going to dive into the world of SEO. We'll discuss why SEO is essential for your business, how to conduct effective keyword research, and how to choose the right keywords to target. We'll also cover some on-page SEO principles to help optimize your content, and we'll wrap up by emphasizing the importance of having a mobile-friendly website. So let's go ahead and start. SEO stands for search engine optimization. So the essentials of SEO. So optimize the content added to your website for better search engine visibility. The agenda for today is to get you an introduction to SEO and its importance, essential keyword research, using the right keywords, core on-page SEO principles, the importance of mobile-friendly websites. So, what is SEO? I think everyone, or I'm not sure if all of you knows what SEO means, but SEO is search engine optimization. It's the process of improving your website to increase its visibility in search engines. So, it is the process of improving your website so that it ranks higher on search engines. Uh, Google, search engines like Google, sorry. The goal is to make sure your site is easier to find for people searching for information, products, or services related to what you offer. Think of SEO like setting up a store on a busy street versus a quiet alley. You want your website to be in the best spot where more people can see it. SEO helps you to get that busy street by using strategies like selecting the right keywords, optimizing your site's content, and making sure your website is user friendly and fast. Simply put, SEO helps search engines understand what your site is about and match it to what people you are looking for. So, why is SEO important? So, first is it helps your website rank higher in search results. Most people don't go past the first page of search results. SEO helps you get your website on the first page so more people can find you. The reason why also you want to be you want to rank higher in search results is because of the average, because of the distribution of traffic. So let's say your website is not in the first page of of the Google search engine result. There's there's the main reason why you want to be at least on the first page is the distribution of traffic. It is one of the most important reason to focus on ranking higher in Google. The majority of clicks through rates, or I mean, the vast majority of clicks go to the top results. Uh, I can share you some numbers why you need to focus at least on the first page. If you are in the first position of the Google search results, approximately 30% of all clicks go to the first result. So that's a lot of traffic for you. Let's say you are targeting a particular keyword, let's say best running shoes, and if you are on the top one of the first page of the search results, let's say it has a monthly volume searches of like 100,000, 30% of that 100,000 can go to you, or 30% of that 30% of the traffic from the 100,000 can go to you. So that's 30,000 visits or 30,000 traffics to your website. If you are in the second position, like around 15% of clicks go to the second go to the second result. So when you're doing SEO, uh, you need to expect that it will not be as easy. It will not be an easy way to go to the first position. There will be a lot of optimizations that you need to do. in order to get in that position. And if you are in the third position, about 10% of clicks goes to the third result. So uh, we are just talking here about the top three websites in the first page result, and that's the distribution of traffics. So 30% if you're in first position, second position you get 15% of clicks, and third position you get like 10% of clicks go to that ranking. So it's important that you target at least you are in the first page of the search results. The second factor why SEO is important is it drives organic traffic to your site. Instead of paying for ads, SEO brings in visitors naturally through search engines. These visitors are often more valuable because they're actively looking for what you offer. Number three is builds credibility and trust with your audience. When your website appears high in search results, it gives the impression that your business is trustworthy and authoritative in your industry. Number four is cost effective compared to paid advertising. While paid ads can be effective, SEO is a more sustainable and long-term strategy. Once you optimize your site, you can continue to attract traffic without ongoing costs, unlike paid ads, which stop when your budget runs out. Let's go to the next part of.
Hey, Joseph, let me make
Yes,
a
David.
comment. Go back to the previous page for a second, please. So first of all, guys, I mean, when we say search engines, we're primarily meaning Google. Google's pretty much killed everybody else, basically. You've got Bing, you've got Yandex, you've got Yandex is the Russian one. You've got I think a few others here around the world, but primarily it's and Yahoo and whatever. Primarily it's Google. That they're like 95 or 90% of all the traffic are coming from Google, basically, and so forth. So the challenge is to get on that first page, and it's difficult. But the key thing to understand regarding keywords, again, when we're talking about search engines, we're talking about somebody typing something into google.com or .ca or whatever it is. There's all the country ones, and saying, I'm looking for, this, and so forth. And the key point is what really works on the internet is if you are selling something that can be associated with a particular word. What I've noticed over the years is only sell things that people are searching for, or that have a particular word that people know what the word is for that thing. If what you're selling you can't describe by a particular word, or the word is so common, it's really hard to optimize for that, and so forth. But so that's one thing to consider if you're trying to sell something. So think about what the products you are selling and what are the keywords for it. We're also able to do other things such as target, well, this will be for ads, but target people that are local and so forth and whatever. But for keywords, what's the words that refer to what you're doing? And it's really, what are people going to Google and typing to look for you? Another big key aspect is all these AI tools like Perplexity and Claude Sonnet and so forth. They are scraping the internet to figure out what is good and so forth. So it's not just for Google, it's also people are using tools to ask the internet what it is. Less people are going to Google and searching, but these other systems are also looking at the keywords on your site. So again, this is a key thing. Now, some keywords don't make any sense at all, and so forth. And we'll talk about maybe some of these things later on this talk. Anyway, that's just a quick comment here as well. And again, this is all free traffic that you're not paying for, if you can get people to search for whatever it is that you do. Anyway, the next question the next part that Joseph is going to cover is how we find what words to use. Go ahead, Joseph.
Okay, thanks, David, for that input. Now, the next thing that we are going to discuss is the keyword research. Now, let's discuss first what are keywords. So they are words and phrases that people use to search for information online. For example, men's shoes. So, if someone is looking for like a new pair of shoes, they might type like the best men's shoes into Google, and then find some results in there. Google will feed you Google will show some results of websites that is all about the best men's shoes. So in SEO, keywords are like the bridge that connects your website to the people searching for what you offer. when you use the right keywords on your website, you make it easier for search engines to understand your content and show it to people who are searching for those terms. So importance of keyword research. So here are the two things why keyword research is very important. It helps you understand what your audience is searching for. By using the same words your audience is searching for, you increase the chances of your website showing up in search result. So number two, guides your content creation to match user intent. Keywords help you focus on what topics are the most relevant to your audience and give direction to the content you create. So Google loves fresh new content. And if you want to get a lot of organic traffic, one of the best strategy is to create new contents, which is through blogs. And if you target those keywords that has a very high volume of search, and you create a blog or a content about those particular keywords, you can drive those traffics from those keywords if people are searching for those keywords to your website through your blog or through the content that you have created. Okay, so what are the tools for keyword research that we usually use? Number one is Google Keyword Planner. I think this is the most common one because this is a free tool. It comes out from your Google Ads account. Even if you are not running an ad campaign, you can still use Google Keyword Planner to get some insights about those keywords that you want to target. Number two is Ahrefs. Ahrefs is a paid tool. This one is quite expensive, but it has a feature that you can use to search for keywords and give you a lot of information and insights about that keywords. Like, for example, how many people are searching for these keywords. How is the competitiveness of this keyword? If a lot of people are trying to fight over this keyword, and other important details. We will go into a deeper session about Ahrefs and these paid tools later on. And the next tool is SEMrush. So SEMrush is the same as Ahrefs. It has a feature that you can use to search for keywords. The number one thing that you can the difference between Ahrefs and SEMrush is the data from SEMrush is more updated for Ahrefs, but I'm not saying that Ahrefs are the data from Ahrefs are outdated. It's just that in Ahrefs you need to pay a higher package or a higher plan before you can get an automated syncing of data from the very latest one. SEMrush does it automatically if you have a paid plan with them. Answer the Public, it's a website where you can check what people are searching. It gives you an insight also what are trendings, etc., etc. So this is the look of a Google Keyword Planner. Again, we will go deeper on this tool later on, and we will have a different session how to use these tools. Ahrefs. Okay, David.
Yeah, regarding Ahrefs and SEMrush, we have accounts for both, and there were a number of things, Joseph, we discovered that Ahrefs did much better. Maybe when we go and talk about Ahrefs in more depth, you can mention that because we've come to the conclusion Ahrefs is the better tool. Because your preamble earlier sort of indicated the SEMrush is better, but we found Ahrefs much better. Maybe you can cover the differences a little bit better or the strengths of Ahrefs as to why we think it's better. But anyway, that was my only comment.
And then this is SEMrush. This is the keyword overview tool for SEMrush and Answer the Public. Now, let's discuss how to find relevant keywords. Now, this is step-by-step guide that you can use when you want to find the most relevant keywords for your site. Now, first is start with a seed keyword. Let's say a general term related to your business. For example, coffee shop, if that's what your business is. Then use the keyword tool, then generate a list of related keywords. Now, these tools also provide some information. What are the most related keywords that you can use also. You can use that list to identify which keyword you are going to target that is most common or mostly relevant to your business or to your website. Now I will show you on a different session how to sort those keywords between those. How to sort those keywords that are relevant to your business and for those that are not really relevant, or maybe you can also. I'm not really saying that you want to scrape those keywords that are not relevant. You should also think of this. There are keywords that are not really relevant to your business but are high volume. Maybe you can use those to create a blog post about a certain topic. And when you create like a blog post and contents for those irrelevant keywords, you can still drive traffic from those keywords. But essentially, you really only want to use those keywords that are most relevant to your website. This is the most important thing. But again, you need to balance things, or you need to check things in terms of identifying the keywords that you want to rank in or not. Number 3 is analyze search volume and competition. Look for the keywords with high search volume and low competition. Of course, you really want to target those keywords that has a high search volume. So one thing that we use to identify this is we use the monthly search volume. So monthly search volume refers to the average number of times a specific keyword or phrase is searched for in a search engine like Google with a 1 month period. That's why it's called monthly search volume. This metric helps you understand how popular or in demand a particular keyword is among users. And another one is the competition. Of course, you really don't want to compete or fight out with those keywords that are really high in competition, or you think a certain website or a certain business has it already in the top one, or you can really put yourself on the first page of the searching result. Number 4 is consider long tail keywords, more specific phrases that are easier to rank. For example, best coffee shop in Bari. Now, most of the long tail keywords are targeting specific locations. Like for example, this keyword that is in this slide, it says best coffee shop in Bari. Why it added the keyword in Bari? Because the user is trying to search for a local coffee shop around Bari area. And one of the things that you should focus on if you really want to rank on long tail keywords is local SEO, which is local search engine optimization. What do you mean by local search engine optimization? Is you are trying to rank on a particular geographic location. For example, if you only want like customers or clients around a specific location, you should improve your SEO, or you should improve your local SEO using long tail keywords, because most of the time these long tail keywords are really ranking well on local SEO. We will go deeper on local SEO and how you can optimize your site for local SEO in the next session. Okay, so here's an in-depth explanation. You can click this link if you want to know more about how to find relevant keywords for SEO. Now, choosing the right keywords. Now we have 2 columns here. What keywords to use and what keywords to avoid. Now, what keywords to use? Relevant to your content and audience, high search volume, low competition, include long tail keywords. Now, when you say relevant to your content and audience, you need to make sure that your keywords you choose closely align with the content on your site and what your target audience is searching for. Let's say let's say you're selling you are a e-commerce shop that sells shoes. You really want to target those keywords that are relevant to the shoes niche or to the shoes category. You can really target keywords under other categories like dresses if you don't sell those, pants, etc., etc. High search volume, low competition. Again, this is very important. This is a very important factor, the high search volume and low competition. You need to focus on keywords that a lot of people are searching, but that aren't overly competitive. It gives you a better chance to rank. Include long-tail keywords. As I mentioned earlier, this can bring in more specific high-intent traffic because they target people looking for exactly what you offer. Now, what keywords to avoid? Those are the keywords that are highly competitive and hard to rank for. These keywords are difficult to rank because many websites are already competing for them. It's often better to focus on less competitive keywords where you can realistically stand out. Irrelevant keywords that don't match your content are we really recommend you don't use keywords that don't match the content of your site, even if they have search volume. But again, you need to understand that there are certain keywords that can bring a lot of huge traffic on your site, even if even if it's irrelevant to your site. But if you can like connect what your website can do or what your website can offer on this particular topic, then you can create like a blog content about those particular topic that is driving a lot of traffic to your to that particular keyword and create a content on that one and drive more traffic using those keywords on your site. But again, this is not really applicable uh, across all websites. It really varies on your on your strategy on how you will target these keywords, which will go deeper on the different sessions. Keywords that are too broad or too niche. Uh, Broad keywords like shoes are hard to rank, and it can really bring in a lot of irrelevant traffic. On the other hand, keywords that are too niche might not have enough search volume to make a difference in your SEO efforts. If you want to read more about choosing the right keywords, you can go into this link that we have added on this slide. Now, next is the core on-page SEO principles. This is where titles, headings, meta description, and content lies into. So in titles, it's really important that you include your primary keyword and keep it under 60 characters. Headings like H1, H2, H3, H4, H5, etc. The importance of headings is to structure content. Again, so that search engine can understand your website. The heading should include keywords where appropriate, but don't force it. Again, the main goal of headings is for search engines to understand the structure of your website and your content. I mean, but again, if you are forcing irrelevant keywords or if you're forcing keywords that are not really relevant to certain parts of your content, like the headings on the body, on the main content itself, that isn't a good practice because you're not really trying to uh, create content for search engines. You are creating content for an end user or to a human reader. And if you force it, it will just produce a lot of confusions, especially when a reader is reading your website. I mean, reading your content, and it notice that a lot of your headings are using irrelevant keywords. Now, meta descriptions. Now, briefly describe the content, include keywords, but keep it natural. Again, uh, yes, David?
Yeah, a quick comment here. So these elements Joseph's talking about are is really the web page that's coming up. Title means the page title, and this is not something you see on the page, but when you look on the tab on the top of your page, that's where it shows up here. But Google grabs that information because it kind of describes the page. Meta descriptions are this is some of they're meta tags basically. This is information you don't see on the page, but if you went to the browser and did a view source, you could look inside and find it there. But again, the purpose of metadata means data about data. So a meta description or meta keywords, or there's a bunch of meta tags as well. There's a whole bunch of ones. There's even the open graph tags that Facebook uses. This is information about the data that again, the search engine's reading to try to figure out what your page is about, basically, and so forth. Content, well, that's the body of the page, the body of the paragraphs, basically. And H1, H2, these are HTML tags, and what they refer to is H1 is your most prominent heading on the page that you can visibly see. H2 are like slightly smaller headings that you can visibly see, and H3 are even smaller headings. You might not have any three levels of headings. Maybe there's just one at the very top, which will always be called H1, and so forth. So three of these four here refers to elements of the page, and really only the right to the headings and the content is what you visually see. But again, if one is using a tool such as WordPress, one can set the page title, one can set the meta descriptions, and maybe some other metadata like open graph tags and so forth to do that. So these are signals to the search engine about what your page is about. So it's worthwhile paying attention to this and so forth as well. Anyway, that's just a comment, Joseph. I think Andrew has a comment as well.
I was just gonna suggest that Joseph can just kind of show on Google what a title and a meta description is.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
or maybe
So yeah, I have a sample here. So I've searched in Google running shoes, and there are some search results here. And the first one is from Nike. Now, the first thing you see here, this is the SEO title. As you can see, it says running shoes that Nike.ph. The one beneath the SEO title is the meta description. As you can see here, it says find running shoes at Nike.com. Free delivery and returns on select orders.
so so
Yes, David?
okay. Now you're introducing a new element here, SEO title. So what is the SEO title compared to page title compared to meta description? Is this another meta tag that you mean when you say SEO title, or what do you mean by SEO title?
Yeah. So first of all, the page title is the title of the page. So it's when you create some pages on your website, you actually put a name of that page or the name or a name of that page. SEO title is also known as the title tag. It's the title of the web page that appears in search engine results. It plays a crucial role in SEO because it's one of the first things both users and search engines see when someone searches for a particular keyword and your website came up in the search results. This is the first thing that they won't see. But if
Right.
you if
But
you'll visit the page, yes, David.
isn't that basically the page title? Like when you're creating your HTML page or modifying it, I mean, you've got the meta title tag, right? Which is what you're talking about. That's basically the page title. There's not a separate tag indicating SEO title, or am I incorrect?
No, for example, this one. This is your web page or page title.
Mhm.
This long
Well, no,
long title here.
that's not the page title. That's the H1 tag on the top.
Yes, H1 is the title in WordPress.
Okay,
These
so
ones these ones are H2s
okay. So you're saying WordPress considers the H1 tag to be the page title, but
as the title.
okay, so
Yes.
when you were saying page title earlier, I was under the impression you're talking about the title in the meta tags indicating the page title that you basically see on the tab when you go to the page. Like for example, you look at the tabs on the very top of your page, there's a whole bunch of web pages there, that text there, that's the page title. That's what I'm indicating the page title is. But you're saying in WordPress, it's considering the title of the page to be the H1 tag. Okay, so that's quite surprising. I wasn't aware of that, and so forth. Again, you've not explained where SEO title is coming from.
So, David, quickly. So by default, your SEO title is always going to be your page title unless you change it. So in WordPress, for the customers who are using WordPress, under Yoast, there's a section called SEO title where you can adjust the SEO title if needed. But by default, it's just always going to be what the page title is. So you
Okay.
only have to change it if you want to.
Okay, so so Yoast Guys is this plugin for WordPress that helps you optimize your SEO basically and so forth. So that SEO title in Yoast, does that save to a particular meta tag, or does that go to the meta title tag? Where does that content go in the HTML?
Okay. So if you'll go to the page, it's here, the title.
Okay, so the title tag is the page title basically, and so forth, and that's where it is. And guys, here you can see all the meta tags. You see meta description. There's the open graph tags, OG locale. Those are primarily for Facebook. Facebook wants to understand what your page is about, basically. Facebook or Instagram. It's owned by the same company, as we all know. And then there's other ones for author, sort of for X or Twitter and so forth down below as well. All right, interesting. So that's the page title, but what about SEO title? If that's page title, okay, so you're saying WordPress considers title to be the H1 tag. SEO title is this, which is the title HTML tag, correct?
Yes, correct.
Okay, so that's
This is the SEO title.
okay. So in the past, when you're talking about title, I'm always thinking about it from the HTML perspective. What is it in the code? But you're looking at it from the WordPress perspective because that's more your skill set and so forth. Okay, so SEO title maps to HTML title, and title in WordPress maps to the H1 tag, and so forth. Okay, much clearer. Thank you.
Okay, so going back here, yeah, I think we have, hold on. Let me just go back to my Scratchpad. Yeah, so for content, you need to always write for humans first and not for search engines. Maybe the priority that you need to set is you need to write for humans. Secondly, for search engines, because we all want to make your we all need to make our content. We need to make our content readable as much as possible on a human perspective and not on a search engine's perspective. Because before, there were a lot of contents that are ranking well in Google, but if you will read the content, or if you will go to the page that are ranking and read about the contents, they are not mainly focused on the knowledge and education that a certain end user or customer should be knowing on what that particular keywords is referring on that page. So, for example, before, there were a lot of contents that are ranking highly about certain topics like SEO. But if you go to the page that is really ranking well, you'll notice that the contents are not really written on a human perspective, and they are just modifying the contents to just in this for the sake that they want to rank well on SEO, and that is really a bad strategy. You will get penalized if your contents are made for search engines and not for humans. Okay, next. Now, the importance of mobile-friendly website. Now, why mobile optimization matters? Over 50% of global web traffic comes from mobile devices. Google uses mobile first indexing. Now, in today's world, having a mobile-friendly website is more important than ever. As you know, in fact, that 50% of global web traffic comes from mobile devices. This means that if your website isn't optimized for mobile, you're likely missing out a huge chunk of potential visitors. But even more importantly, Google uses mobile first indexing. Mobile first indexing means that Google primarily looks at the mobile version of your website when deciding how to rank it in search results. If your website doesn't perform well on mobile devices, it can hurt your overall SEO rankings, even for desktop users. So, how to ensure mobile friendliness? So, use responsive design. So, a responsive design ensures that your website adjusts to different screen sizes, providing a smooth experience on both mobile and desktop devices. Actually, just not on mobile and desktop devices, also on tablet devices. But again, most of these websites focus mainly on mobile and desktop, because the majority of traffic or users are using this kind of devices. But I'm not really telling you not really to make your website tablet friendly, because there are still a huge number of users who are using tablet devices like iPads, etc. So optimize images for faster loading. So large image files can slow down your site, especially in mobile devices, as we all know. Optimize your images to load faster without sacrificing the quality. It helps improve user experience and search engine rankings. Now, there are some tools that you can use to optimize your website, and if you're using plugins, I mean, if you're using WordPress, there are also some plugins that you can install in a website that will automatically optimize your website, and automatically optimize your images so that it really performs well. So your website really performs well in terms of loading, in terms of which devices they are using. So these if you have an image on your website, yes, David. David,
Sorry,
you're muted.
I was muted. I'm muted now. Just a couple comments here. So it may be true that 50% of global traffic is coming from mobile devices, but of course this will vary by country. And I saw some stats maybe a year ago which showed that 75% of traffic in certain countries, I can't remember which set it was coming on mobile. So that's three-quarters of your traffic. I think that is applicable to us in North America and perhaps Europe and the Middle East and other places. But the interesting thing is, even though 75% of the mobile traffic is coming from, sorry, the traffic is coming from mobile devices, the stat I saw that was 50% of the e-commerce transactions are coming from mobile. So what's happening is people are using their mobile to basically browse and search and confuse and consume data from video or websites or social media or so forth. And then half of them are actually, or a chunk of them are going to their desktop to actually place the e-commerce order. So both are absolutely needed basically as well. There have been some companies, remember Flipkart in India, which is a big marketplace. They said, oh, we're just going to go mobile and not worry about desktop at all. And they had to backtrack. It didn't work basically. And I guess they discovered a lot of people want to do e-commerce on desktop where you got more real estate. So that's one comment of that. But both are important. Mobile more for consuming data. E-commerce is equally important as well. Regarding images, tools such as WordPress will and backend systems like React Next.js will optimize the image for the different sizes. So you're going to serve the right size to the right device. The truth is, if you're serving more data to, let's say, a mobile device and the screen can support, it impacts your performance. The site's going slower than you expect, basically. Some people make fundamental mistakes of uploading a massive image to a site and then it looks fine on their computer, but on the mobile, the site's going so slow, they don't understand why. There are tools out there that will optimize, make separate copies of it. There's also digital asset managers where we can ask the digital asset manager, give me exactly this size of image from the large image you've stored, and this then gives the best speed. So we'll talk about that later on in other sessions and so forth. But the whole idea is getting speed. Speed's important because Google will consider speed a ranking factor. It's not just more enjoyable for your customers, but Google will rank you higher if your site has no errors and more speed and it's a more enjoyable to watch, and also it'll keep people engaged more and so forth. Joseph makes a good point here about testing your site on different devices. I mean, actually try it on a real mobile device, try it on an iPhone and an Android and different browsers and so forth. One key thing that one has to test as well is, are there any errors on the site? We're looking at a customer site yesterday and it looks beautiful, but I said, okay, do Chrome Inspect View Console and look at all the errors. And it was from a well-known site out there, and whoever configured the site didn't check or notice or didn't care. And a lot of designers make great, pretty sites, but don't actually confirm if it's error-free, and that impacts the search ranking of your site as well. Anyway, Joseph, thank you. Continue, please.
Yep. So going back to the last item about how to ensure mobile friendliness is test your site on different devices. So you need to make sure your website looks good and functions well on a variety of mobile devices. So like what David said, you need to test it on actual devices like an iPhone, an Android device, that have different screen sizes, because this is where you can test if there is an actual issue on your website in terms of its design while using these actual devices, because they vary in terms of screen sizes. There are also online tools that can help you simulate how your site will appear on different phones and tablets, but we really don't recommend those unless you don't have the budget right now to buy different mobile devices. I can give you a list of those tools that you can use, but one tool that I was using before is responsinator.com, where you can simulate a website. Oh, not sure why it's not loading in. Oh yeah, it's using HTTP. Here you can just enter your website and click go, and it will simulate the mobile look of your website. Yes, Andrew and David.
Yeah, I'll go first.
I was just gonna say that I'm not quite sure how this site works, but this might not be a valid testing tool, because the customer David talked about just before about the console errors, that site too, the way that it's on Wix, and the way Wix works is that it's not normal like a WordPress site where you can adjust your browser window and it just kind of it's just responsive that way. It hosts it on mobile and it hosts it on desktop. So if you were to go to your browser and make the window smaller, the site would be broken. But if you were to view it on your actual phone, it would look fine. So I'm not sure how this site works, but this might not be the best
Yeah,
tool.
let me comment on this here. Okay, so there's two main ways that sites can work. There's responsive design and adaptive design, and so forth. Responsive design means that the site will vary how it looks based on the width of the device, like how many pixels wide it is. So you can go into a browser and then drag the browser window narrower, and the site will redesign and reflow. And Wix uses adaptive design. It doesn't do a responsive design. Pretty much everybody's gone with responsive design because the idea is the site can reformat for different sizes. So desktop, tablet, and mobile basically, and it doesn't matter, and so forth. Adaptive design means when somebody goes to the site via the browser, the system determines which copy of the website to look at. Something optimized for the mobile, something optimized for the browser. Sorry, for the laptop, basically, which is your desktop browser. And Wix doesn't do that basically, which was surprising, but it's not that bad basically. But that's not how everybody else has done it. In terms of testing a site, Joseph is showing this particular site here. The more common one is something called browserstack.com. That one works better, but it'll cost you $50 or $100 a month or whatever it is. And we're finding that it doesn't do that great a job of emulating mobile devices. You really need to look at the mobile device itself, to do it on the mobile device itself, and so forth as well. So this one here, yeah. So as Joseph, so Joseph's using Chrome Inspect right now. This is built into every Chrome browser. You can go Chrome Inspect and you can click if you don't want to make your window narrower. You can actually go to Chrome Inspect and click that little icon there to choose different sizes and so forth. Or you can make the window not narrower, not narrower, and so forth. It works and so forth. So anyway, these are some things that need to be tested and done and so forth. And not everybody does this well. And this is one of the most fundamental mistakes out there. Everybody pretty much has gone to responsive design. Anyway, that's the difference. Adaptive design, responsive design, testing on different actual devices, and that means every time you make a change as well, and so forth. And anyway, that's just some of the process that one needs to look at. All right, Joseph, thank you. Continue.
Okay, thanks, guys. So we're at the last part of our session, the last slide, which is website performance optimization tools. So we have two. We usually use two optimization tools to check the website performance. So one is Google Page Insights, Page Speed Insights, and the other one is Web Page Tests. These tools are designed to analyze and assess various aspects of a website's performance, focusing on how quickly and efficiently a web page loads and functions. They provide detailed metrics and insights that help developers and site owners improve user experience, SEO, and overall website effectiveness. Now, on another session, we will go deeper on this one. We will show you how to use Google Page Speed Insights and web page test. And I think that's it. If you have any questions, feel free to ask.
I have a couple comments regarding that. So the point is, whenever you're testing a site for speed, close all your tabs and close the multiple browsers windows down. So make sure you're just running one tab, because if you have too many tabs open, each tab consumes memory and your system will slow down. Right. So this is a key thing. If you find a site slow, make sure it's not you. The second thing is test your internet connection speed. You can go to fast.com or speedtest.net and so forth, and make sure connection speed is good as well, because it's quite possible that you've got a slow connection at that time of day or so forth. Sometimes if a customer says that, oh, my site's not working, or your website is down, it's actually them, that they've got a problem with their internet connection and so forth. But yeah, these two tools are the two key tools: Page Speed Insights and Web Page Test. There's other ones as well, basically, but what they will do is show you the various areas where your site needs improvement, basically, in terms of best practices or accessibility or images or so forth or whatever. We're going to cover all that in a subsequent session, basically, and that's a key thing to look at to make sure what your performance is on mobile and desktop and so forth. And mobile's tougher to get great performance numbers. Sometimes it's very difficult, but desktop one could usually get extremely good numbers. But we'll do that in the next session. I think we cover pretty much everything. Andrew, do you have any comments you want to add to the session, or Joseph, was there any more comments from you?
Yeah, I think that's all for me.
Okay, wonderful. Okay, so
Nothing on my end either.
okay, thank you, Andrew. Okay, so this is the end of session two, basically. We're you know, we're going to put this online some way in which you can get access to this, and we're still discussing where to put that. But we'll communicate to everybody about that, and we will do session three tomorrow, basically, and we'll post it as well. Okay, thank you, guys. Have a good day, and I'll stop recording right now as of now.